From upping teacher pay to cutting red tape for affordable housing, Idaho Governor Brad Little was in Hayden today outlining his legislative agenda. What he has planned for North Idaho.
Patchy fog and low-hanging clouds take us through the day tomorrow, but we're talking a big-time cold snap arriving just in time for the weekend.
We can help reconnect families and friends from around the country, out of the country.
But first, helping from afar. As California deals with catastrophic wildfires, a local woman answering the call for people whose lives were upended. Her story, new tonight.
KREM 2 News 10 at 10 begins now with Mark Hanrahan and Jeremy Legoo.
Well, tonight we are continuing our coverage of the most destructive wildfires in LA history. As of tonight, at least 24 people are dead, more than 12,000 buildings destroyed, and firefighters are working tirelessly to counter the flames. This as crews are dealing with another round of the powerful Santa Ana winds. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. Crews from the American Red Cross here in Spokane are on the ground in California helping those impacted, and some are doing important work from right here at home. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy live in the newsroom tonight with a look at how a local woman is helping from more than 1,000 miles away. Connor?
First responders from all across the country are in California fighting these historic fires. But during these evacuations, there are some people who may be wondering where their loved ones are as they try to stay safe. That's where a reunification specialist comes in. For Red Cross volunteer Neetha Mogul, she says her work as a volunteer hits home after growing up in New Orleans.
For me, it was growing up around hurricanes, and I said that if I was ever going to be on the other side, I could give back instead of being the one needing help.
Mogul's working around the clock and has been for the last several days as a reunification specialist for the American Red Cross. This role helps in reuniting families and friends who may have been separated during evacuations. It starts with a call to the 800 Red Cross phone number.
And eventually it'll end up with someone like me, and I will make the contact with the clients, ask them, have you been in contact with your loved one? And then we work the case from there.
Mogul says in the few days she's been tasked in reunification, she's spoken with dozens feeling hopeless as they try to look ahead during growing devastation.
We can help reconnect families and friends from around the country, out of the country. We have people call us looking for someone. So we have the sought and we have the seeker, and we try to reconnect these folks.
Reconnect those whose homes may be destroyed and are seeking comfort in an uncertain time.
You have people from all walks of life, and they're just trying to reconnect with those that have been separated in the chaos of being evacuated.
It's work Mogul says is necessary, doing it from her home in Liberty Lake. That's something she says can be a plus.
Certain things you can't do remotely. The behind the scenes things we can. So I can sit here and I can do the reunifications. I can make the phone calls. I can dig on the internet and look for people.
Look for people in a time of crisis. As Mogul says, the need is only growing for those affected.
To alleviate human suffering is vital to Red Crossers, and it's the best job I've never been paid for.
The grounds fighting these fires. The governor of Maine announced Monday they're deploying a team of forest rangers and volunteer firefighters to help contain the wildfires. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Connor, thank you very much. Also in California tonight, Red Cross Pet Liaison Paige McKee and American Humane Disaster Manager Tim Percival. Both are from the Spokane area, and this photo shows them at the Westwood Community Center helping Coco the goat, who was evacuated in the fires. This is one of the many Red Cross shelters open for the community in response to the LA wildfires. The Red Cross of the Northwest region says Paige and Tim are working closely with California partners to provide safe shelter, food, emotional support, and other critical services for impacted families and their pets. And there are opportunities for people here in the inland Northwest to help out. Crates of dogs and cats are being flown into Seattle as Los Angeles shelters deal with overcrowding. Seattle Humane partnered with Paws for Life Canine Rescue and Wings of Rescue, a nonprofit organization that helped fly these pets from the Burbank Airport to Boeing Field just last night.
There's no real competition in animal welfare. We're all in it. We all want to do the same thing, which is to help as many animals as possible, get where they need to be, which is home.
Today, the shelter will begin checking the animals into its system, hoping these pets will be available for adoption as soon as tomorrow. Spokane told KREM 2 they may get a delivery of pets from LA County tomorrow, so we will keep you updated as we learn more. People from all around the country and beyond are pouring support into California right now, and there are so many stories to highlight. Coming up in just 10 minutes, we will continue to bring you more coverage of the wildfires in LA County. All right, switching gears, let's take a quick break from the headlines to talk weather. Another chilly gray day across the region. But get ready for even colder weather later in the week. Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legout live in the Weather Center. Jeremy, it sounds like maybe some of the coldest, if not the coldest temperatures of the year are just ahead of us.
Yeah, and parts of the eastern and central U.S. already dealing with some of that cold. I was just checking out a friend, and he said 11 degrees below zero is where he currently sits in Colorado. We are far from it. 30 degrees is where we currently sit. And with the dew point of 28, our temperatures are likely going to keep dropping, but we are likely going to start to see a little fog formation. Temperatures down below freezing across the entire inland Northwest, and that correlates to visibility staying pretty good across the region. Visibility still, I would say, okay, but that's all as our ridge of high pressure continues to build overhead. That ridge of high pressure is what will keep some of that fog at play, especially with clearing skies and the atmosphere high overhead. So for us, our big contender is really just what happens. Here's how I think this goes. A little bit of fog forms in the valleys off to the north, and maybe out in the West Plains by tomorrow morning. Then it's a little bit of cloud cover taking us through the day. Wednesday, we start to see a little bit of a shift. We'll get a little bit of sun in the afternoon as we see a little bit of wind pick up. 32 tomorrow, 34 on Wednesday. By Thursday, enough wind that I think fog is gone, and we hit our highest high of the week before our cold air moves in.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. Now to our Nightbeat with a quick look at today's top stories. Tonight we have learned another teen has died after a crash on Highway 2 last Wednesday. The 18-year-old driver, Cheyenne Shishersky from Fruitland, Washington, died at the hospital today. The Washington State Patrol reports that she failed to stop at the stop sign at Wood Road and U.S. Highway 2. The vehicle hit a semi, then became stuck underneath the trailer. 2 other teens were in the car at the time. A 16-year-old passenger died at the scene. A 13-year-old passenger was also seriously injured. Well, tonight, Cheney police are investigating the death of a man over the weekend. According to police, officers responded to an unattended death at Betts Road near South Murphy Road. No further details were released at this time. Today, jury selection began in a murder case against a Pullman man. Jacob Spray is accused of murdering his estranged wife in March of last year. Just hours before his arrest, Pullman police found the woman dead with serious injuries during a welfare check. They believe she was assaulted. And that was your Nightbeat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. A week off his State of the State address, Idaho Governor Brad Little now touring the state, making his legislative priorities known. Today's stop, Hayden. Governor Little is touting his 2025 Keep Promises plan. KREM 2 Shannon Mowdy breaks down what it could mean for North Idaho.
From upping educator pay and another pass at private school vouchers to cutting red tape for affordable housing, Governor Little's plans for lawmakers in Boise could have huge impacts in North Idaho. Governor Brad Little says he's already rolled up his sleeves with lawmakers on several of his Keeping Promises plan priorities. One that tops his list is education, with $150 million in new funding floated for public schools. Little says that includes more pay for teachers and better health care.
Health benefits alone this year is about $140 million item. So that if you work in a school district, you get the same good insurance that any state employee does. That is a huge help for these districts.
Districts like those in North Idaho, where he says it's more competitive with some educators moving to Washington. Idaho legislators are also taking another pass at a controversial school choice program, with Little suggesting $50 million go toward private school vouchers.
This new proposal is $50 million. They expect to know how that $50 million, who qualifies for it, how it's delivered, that there isn't a situation where people are double dipping.
He promised guardrails to keep it fair and transparent. Lawmakers are hashing out how to make that happen this session.
Right now, the proposal that I think has the most traction will be a tax credit.
A similar bill failed last year. Little also says better schools and infrastructure can help another problem plaguing North Idaho, the need for affordable housing. He teased legislative changes to streamline permitting that could come next month.
We know there are a lot of permits that are in local planning and zoning, city, county, that are in their inbox and they're not in their outbox. We want to do what we can do to improve that.
Little says the Gem State shines when it comes to cutting red tape and regulations, a facet that's attracted the attention of the Trump administration.
They have been reaching out to us because of what we've done from a regulatory standpoint, what we've done from a licensing standpoint.
He says his team's also been tapped by Trump to weigh in on upgrades to wildland firefighting and forest resiliency. Now back at home in Idaho, Governor Little is proposing $100 million for fire management, most of which would go to replenish the state's fire suppression fund. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
And the celebrations in order. No Lie Brewhouse's Wrecking Ball Imperial Stout won a silver medal in the European Beer Star competition. That prompted Forbes magazine to call it one of the world's best stouts. No Lie says the recognition only reinforces Spokane's growing reputation as a craft beer destination. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. But don't go to bed yet. We are following the hearings attached to President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet picks, who is expected to go before a Senate committee tomorrow. Up next.